Today, I'm trying out Alphana, a new AI-based tool that allows you to repurpose your content. So if you're a podcaster or a YouTuber and you want to get some content for your blog or maybe even just create some show notes, Alphana promises to do it for you with a single click. In fact, it says it can do up to 30 different types of content from any audio or video. Now, I gotta admit, I've tried other tools like this in the past, and rarely have I been even the slightest bit impressed. So will Alphana fare any differently? You'll have to stay tuned to the end of the video to find out my final review. But there's one more important thing I need to tell you about Alphana. It's that there's no monthly subscription attached. Yes, that's because Alphana is part of That LTD Life, the show where I review the best and the worst lifetime deals that you'll find on the internet. My name is Dave Swift, by the way. I'm from clientamp.com, and today Alphana is over at AppSumo. Let's get into the weeds. So $49 is the lowest plan, but that doesn't mean that's going to be the one you'll get. Let's go ahead and break down the differences here rather quickly. We'll go into more detail about these plans as we proceed through the video, but some important bullet points. 500 AI credits with Tier 1. What is an AI credit? Well, when you generate content through Alphana, it's going to utilize your AI credits. More content means you need more credits. The second bullet point is how much video can you upload per month? Every time you upload some content, audio or video, it's going to transcribe it. So essentially, this is 2 hours of transcription per month. And if you need more, just upgrade to a higher tier. Now, there is one more time-based factor, so let's just skip over this one for now, and we'll go down to the bottom where it says 1 hour per upload. So that means that you can upload 2 total hours, but each piece of content must be 1 hour or less. Have 4 45-minute videos, even though they're all under 1 hour, you would exceed the 2-hour limit. Thus, you should be looking at a higher tier. Same goes if you make Joe Rogan style 3-hour podcasts. That's not going to fit on tier 2. You'll need to go up to tier 3. But other than that, I think these plans are pretty fair. There's no features that are locked out of any particular tier. You get access to all of the features. That's the main thing I'm trying to get across. So I've already got my Alphana account here, and I'll go through like what I'm spending as I demo the product for you. But I just want to show you what it looks like right when you sign up. Here's the user interface. It's got a little gradient background. And the first thing I see is Gary V's mug. In fact, 2 different Gary V videos show up over here, along with Olivia Rodrigo. I can talk. And what is going on? These are called apps. It's a very confusing experience, I have to say. So what this is actually saying to you is that apps are kind of like projects. In fact, I think that would be a better name rather than calling these apps. These are projects where you have a piece of content. If you're a podcaster, it's an episode. If you're a YouTuber, it's a video. You would upload your content. And then from there, let's click into one of the demo ones here. Here's Gary V. Now, this is what the application essentially does for you, is it outputs some AI based on the original input. So here is like my training data to make this more similar to like a Claude project. If you've ever used Claude to create a project, well, here's our training data. And then from that, it can generate with automatic prompting that's all built in, all of these different cards. That's what each one of these are called. And you can see there's a table of contents over here to the left. So if I wanted to skip right to questions to ponder, I could do that. And here I am on the questions to ponder right here. Now let's skip down to the key terms, and I'm just going to show you what is involved in each one of these cards. First of all, I can expand this to see the entire thing. By default, the cards are kind of collapsed to make it easy to scroll through, but that means you might miss some of the content if you don't know to click that expand button. Now, in this case, we're looking at key terms used within the video. So it's kind of like a glossary. If you have some kind of technical content, you want to break down what each one of those words mean. This is a nice little, preset card that you could use to explain the terms in your video. But let's say the output isn't exactly what you wanted. You can refine the exact prompt they're using by clicking on this Ask AI button right here. That pops open this window down below here where I can see the exact prompt that's used. And that means I can also modify it to get maybe more detailed outputs. So right now it says, the most important keywords up to 8. Maybe I want to have, I don't know, 15 keywords. It's a very technical long video. 8 might not be enough. And I can also make these descriptions be a little bit longer. Right now it says not to exceed 15 words, but maybe I want it to be 50 words. I could do that. And then the explanations of relevance says not to exceed 20 words. Well, maybe I just want that to be 15. You can see how I can kind of take their pre-written prompts and then craft them to fit with my use case. How detailed do I want my output to be? Once I'm done modifying the prompt, I'll click generate right here. And you can see it kind of gives me a loading screen, and I just wait a few seconds and the output will be provided for me. Now, while we're waiting for this output to display, I want to point out a little bit of an issue I personally have with the way this works. So we've got the Ask AI button. That's how I got this here. Oh, it looks like our output's available. We'll look at this in a minute. I got the Ask AI button. That's where we modify our prompt. But if I click on the triple dots over here, there's also an Edit Prompt button. And that gives me the exact same screen. And I think it's a lot better label for what I'm actually doing, because I might want to ask AI about this. I don't necessarily want to change it. So if I click Ask AI and I think I'm going to be able to ask AI about the output, well, that's a little bit confusing. Really, what this should say is Edit Prompt, and then they could remove this from the triple dots. There's no reason to have two ways to access the same feature that are so close to each other. That's kind of a theme we're going to run into throughout Alphana. They have a lot of duplication, ways to access the same features that are right next to each other, but more on that later. Okay, so our output is available to us here. And if I scroll through, we should have quite a few more options. Yeah, this is definitely more than we had before. I would say the descriptions are not really that much longer. They're still all looking like they're, about 5, 6 words, something like that. So I'm, a little disappointed to see that I'm not getting those longer, like 25 word prompts. I think that's what I put in. No, I said 50 words for the description. So yeah, these are definitely not even close to 50 words. Now, one cool thing about these cards is if I want to take them and then use them over on my website or repurpose them someplace else, I can click the copy button right here, and now it's copied to my clipboard. But one thing I want to point out is that this little message here, content copy to clipboard, never goes away. I can continue using the application. It's going to stay there forever. I have to actually manually go ahead and exit out to get it to come off of the screen. Just a small little tweak that, probably should be fixed. Remember, I mentioned that for any content you provide to Alphana, it's going to transcribe it. Well, you can actually view the transcription right up here. If I click on this button, I can see that actual transcript. And by the way, you can easily copy this and then take it to another AI platform, or even work on it manually if you want, like a barbarian. It's 2024. Who is still doing manual work? I digress, but that's how you get to the transcript. Now we've got a few more options here. There's a share button in the upper right-hand corner. The share button is great, but also a bit confusing. So I'm going to click on this and we can see that it's kind of Google Doc-like, share this link with anyone and they can view it. I can copy it and now it's copied. I still have to close out this one. All right, now I can go ahead and open this up in a private window. And here it is in a private window. And you see I get this message down here at the bottom saying like, hey, you can sign up for free. And then you can actually copy this into your own account and then modify it. But the way it is right now, the way it's been shared with me, I can read it, but I can't actually change the prompts or do anything to the actual page that we're viewing. So this is kind of like a website on a particular piece of content. Like if you're a podcaster, I suppose you could just share this link as maybe some detailed show notes and you don't need your own website. I would still probably build my own website, but if you're short on time and money, and this is going to do better than nothing, right? So kind of cool that you can click a button and get all of this. By the way, we'll go through the process from scratch of how to actually generate this later on, but we're still kind of getting the lay of the land of how all this works. Now, I mentioned that the share sheet was confusing. Now, why is this confusing? Seems really simple. Well, check it out. My options are can view or no access. Why do I have an option for no access in the share sheet? Can you explain that to me? Hey, man, I'm going to share this document with you, but you can't look at it. Like, what? What are we doing? Maybe I just don't get this and someone can let me know how stupid I am in the comments. I'd be happy to hear about it. But as it is right now, I don't get it. In fact, you can click email the link and then I still have to choose one of these two. If I click can view, it pops open my email editor. So here it is. It's got a pre-written email to share that link. But If I choose, I'll share the link again. If I choose no access, it just goes away. Like, all right, kind of weird. I also don't see any place to add people to the doc, but maybe I have to have someone on my team to do that. I haven't fleshed that out, but right now, people with access, that's unclear to me in terms of its usefulness. All right, there's a few more things to look at inside of the application in terms of options and settings, but rather than go through everything in front of Gary Vee, I'd feel much better about doing this on my own content. So let's go to the home page here, and I'm gonna go ahead and create a new application. Now, how should I do this? I could either click this button up here, or I could click this button over here, or I could click this button down here. These all do the exact same thing. I can't believe there's so many ways to create a new project. By the way, if you didn't notice, there's also a keyboard command. Another weird thing about the user interface, and by the way, if you're new to my videos, this is kind of what I do. I nitpick, I find the quirks, the oddities inside of these lifetime deals. It's not a way to insult the developers. It's all love here. I commend people who are able to launch products on AppSumo, but I'm going to point out the things that might make you as a user feel uneasy when you're trying out a tool, and you might not even be able to put your finger on why. Man, this just doesn't feel very good. So here is something that's odd. I'm creating new content, and then I've got these templates to choose from. You can see I've got templates selected up here, but in order to view them, I actually have to scroll up. Can you remember another tool where you're given a list of options, but then you have to scroll up to view them? And then when you get to the top, your whole screen moves. When you get to the bottom, their whole screen moves down. You noticing that? Typically, you will be given a list of options, and then you will scroll down to view all of those options. So this is just a little bit backwards. So we've got templates right here, which is kind of like what we've been looking at. Like this is a template right here. It's full of cards, right? So I could use this template repeatedly if I have kind of a workflow that I set up for my podcast or my YouTube channel, and I want to just output all of the same types of cards every single time. In fact, even right here on the triple dots, I could save this as my own template. And by the way, you can always add new cards over here. So I can hit create new, and then I can add in a card. Let's say like, I don't know, how about an Instagram reel? Well, it says the source video is downloading. So I'm going to X out of this. I don't actually want to download that. So you get the point. I can change my cards over here. I can save it as a template. Then when I go to create my own content, I can see the templates that I've created inside of this list. Now you can do the same thing just on a card level. So templates are a collection of cards. Cards are individual pieces of content. So let's say over here, I wanted to just generate a summary from my video. If you're unsure of what the card is actually going to do, you can hover over it and you'll get a tooltip with the prompt, or a little better way to read this is to click on the eye icon, and then you'll be able to read it all right here. I don't think you can actually modify it here. No, you can't, but you can view it. And the last option over here is my prompts. So anytime you've modified any of the existing cards, they're gonna show up over here as your prompts. So remember, I just changed the key terms inside of the video earlier on, and here is how I've modified it. 50 words, 15 terms that we're including. So that just modifying it, that process right there, puts it into this category of my prompts. All right, so I'm gonna head back to the template section here, and I will just do, well, heck, let's try surprise me. They've got kind of an option here to just, pick a template for you. I'm gonna choose that one, and I'll paste in a link to my taco truck roundup video. You can see it populates right here. So I make sure that I'm getting the right video. If you're not familiar with Taco Truck Roundup, I do these AppSumo reviews every single day of the week, but they get to be a little bit long. So if you don't have time to watch them all, every Tuesday on Taco Tuesday, I release the Taco Truck Roundup so that you get a nice little bite-sized digest of the week's worth of reviews. That way, you know which ones are worth your attention to dig into the full-length video. So definitely check out the Taco Truck Roundup. I'll link to the playlist for that down below. You can get caught up on a bunch of AppSumo deals in no time at all. All right, so I was gonna choose Surprise Me, but this one right here really sounds more alluring. YouTube content workflow. Let's just choose that. We'll see what it generates for me. I'm gonna click the prompt right here. Now, what it's gonna do is transcribe that video. You can see it's got it in here already. It's gonna transcribe that video. You can see it's transcribing it, creating the content, and I'll be able to see all of my cards over here on the right. And this is all done for me, within a matter of a couple of minutes. So when this is all done, I should have a YouTube description, some time-stamped clips, time-stamped notes and chapters, thumbnail options. It's actually going to generate images for me, AI images. I'm not sure what the difference is there. Title ideas, a newsletter to let my viewers know via email, LinkedIn with key takeaways, an X Twitter thread, a blog post, and YouTube SEO and keywords. So basically the metadata I need on YouTube. All right, so that's all done, and it literally took no time at all. By the time I was done just going through the list here, all of the content has been generated. So I've got the video description right here. It says, welcome to the Taco Truck Roundup. In this episode, Dave Swift from ClientAmp.com recaps his latest AppSumo reviews, bringing you bite-sized overview of various apps. All right, so it's pretty good. It tells you the apps that are included, practical insights and recommendations. And then we've got some time-stamped clips. So the first one looks like it is just the intro. So it's 0 to 34 seconds. The next one is 40 seconds to 104, which introduces Letterly. Then next up, we have 6 minutes and 36 seconds to 7 minutes and 54 seconds, which is breaking down URL Monitor. So if any of these clips look like they're going to be a good fit for some social media content, I can turn on captions and then choose the format. So let's say I'm going to do vertical video and just hit download. And it says the video is being generated with captions. Please wait. The download will start once it's ready and you'll receive an email with the download link. So we'll check back on that in a moment. All right, let's proceed to the timestamps with chapters. All right, so the timestamps, not that great here. You can see the very first one is at 0 seconds, but then the next one's not till 9 minutes. And I think in that time, I've probably covered like 2 or 3 different applications. So I've never found some good AI for generating timestamps, honestly. Sometimes people will post them in videos that get more popular, but we do them by hand. And I think that for now is just kind of the most reliable way to go. You can see at the end here, we get a little undefined error. Oh, look, my video is ready for download. I will allow. All right, so I'm watching the vertical video now, and I can see that like it's cropping out the logo. It's zoomed in my face, but I think once we get to the screen, it's going to be probably a little bit hard to tell what's going on. In fact, this isn't really usable for my style of video. It does have the captions displayed as I am talking, so I guess that's kind of cool. Next up, we've got some AI images. It just says futuristic intersection of AI and SEO. These are, very, very AI looking. This one's a little creepy, honestly, like angels in some kind of a library. But anyway, moving on, we've got title ideas. They all start with a slash, so that's weird. I mean, it's easy to remove, but it says secrets revealed, how this simple trick transformed my life instantly. It says 5 catchy clickbait style titles, definitely clickbaity. Unbelievable, what happens when I take this bold step? These aren't even related to the video. These are just clickbait titles. You won't believe what this expert said. Shocking insights exposed. So pretty garbage titles for the video, in my opinion. All right, next up, we have an email newsletter. This looks better. It's got the 4 videos here included, or the 4 tools that were included. I think there was actually a 5th one in this video. Yeah, I can see it's 5 AppSumo deals. So there's 5 in here, but only 4 in the newsletter. I mean, overall, the newsletter is not amazing, but it would be a good starting point if I wanted to send out a newsletter for each episode. My LinkedIn post only has the 4 videos included. Here's a Twitter thread, and here is the blog post. Now, personally, I would like a blog post that's similar to the actual video itself, but this kind of looks like it took a spin on it, where it's, focusing on one part of the video, which was rethinking SEO. So let me see what this prompt was. So it says, write an engaging article about a key topic from the video. Use a hook at the beginning of the article. So that's why it just decided to choose AI. So this way you can kind of iterate on your existing content and make more content based on the content you've already made. Kind of reminds me of a meme. All right, so the last section we have is YouTube SEO and keywords. It gives me some topical keywords as well as long tail SEO keywords. All right, I mean, these are fine. I don't know what I would actually do with them, honestly. It doesn't seem like keywords are all that important on YouTube these days. It kind of just seems more important that you get a lot of views and retention on those views. Google is obviously transcribing everything you say in the video, and that's kind of how they're indexing it from what I understand. But they're here. Okay, so that's the quality that we can expect. Now let's dig into a little bit more of using this tool. So over on the left here, we've got our table of contents. We can grab the 6 dots to move things around. These are kind of the double kebabs, right? And if I wanted to put my title ideas at the top, I could do that. I could put my description down at the bottom, and I could say, you know what, I don't want these keywords. I'll hit the trash can on them. Now at that point, whoop, trash can, go away. It's not leaving. So let's try it someplace else. Okay, so I think it's deleted. The last thing I see is the description, but it's still showing up over here. I'm gonna reload the page. Yeah, now they're gone, but they didn't delete when I hit the trash can the first time. So another little glitch. Now remember before I showed you that you can add new cards to the existing content. So if I decide as I process through this, I really want a LinkedIn post to go with this, I could do that. But currently I'm only allowed to have 10 widgets. Well, that's weird. They're giving a different name here. So here it's called widgets. I'm only allowed to have 10 cards on any given app or project. But I had more before because I deleted one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's really weird. So let's get rid of one more. I'll delete the title ideas. Okay, so those should be gone, even though I still see them. Now they're gone. All right, and they actually deleted from the left-hand sidebar. And now if I add a new one in, like a LinkedIn post, that is going to generate right here. All right, so when I get everything how I like it, I can go ahead and save this as a template. So I can click right over here and click Save as Template, and I'll just call it my YT workflow. And I'll hit Save Template. And now the next time I'm ready to publish a video, I can go ahead and hit Create New in any of 3 spots, and then find my YT workflow right here, upload my new URL, and I have all my content generated automatically. When you're done with the project and you don't want to see, let's say, I don't know, how about Gary Vee's mug staring at you, you can click right here to trash that project and it goes away, lives over here inside of the trash can for a little while before being deleted permanently. By the way, there is a view just for templates. So if you add a template and you don't like it, you can take that same approach. Let's go ahead and find my YT workflow right down here, save template, and hit that trash can. Now it's gone. It lives over in the trash can area as well. And I can use this little sorter to find my trash templates. All right, the only other thing to show you in the application is the usage, right? What size plan do you need? Well, I can't tell you. So if we click in the upper right-hand corner here, we're gonna go to app usage, and you can see that under AI credits, it just says coming soon. So I don't really know how many credits I've consumed producing this demo video for you. I can see how much content I've uploaded, and I can see my current limits. But in terms of credits, I don't know how much is being used to generate what I did, which is kind of a bummer because that's probably the most important thing for deciding what plan you want to get for a lot of people anyway. All right, so final conclusion time. Alphana is definitely better than other apps I've tried in this space, but still clearly has a long way to go in terms of fit and finish and just overall high quality results that are being pumped out. The results are okay, but they're gonna definitely need some human oversight to get them up to the level where I'd be comfortable publishing them. I'm gonna go ahead and give Alphana a 6.6 out of 10. Now, if you remember, I recently reviewed Unifier, which was almost identical in terms of its promise, and I gave that a 6.2. So I think this is a little bit better than Unifier, but it's still not quite into the 7s yet, and that's really where I start to consider a deal an absolute slam dunk. If you enjoy these LTD reviews, make sure you check the links in the description. I've got 2 important links for you. The first one is to head over to AppSumo to pick up Alphana or any of the deals on AppSumo. If you click that before making a purchase, it helps support this channel so we can make these daily lifetime deal reviews for you. I've also got a link over to clientamp.com. That's my agency. We've got premium courses, free content. You can sign up for my email newsletter or even work with us one-on-one to help grow your online business. Thank you for watching. My name is Dave Swift, and I'll see you in the next review.